The O'Reilly Factor, the #1 cable news show for 15 years and counting.
Thanks for staying with us. And Bill O'Reilly in the Weekdays of Bernie segment tonight. Talking points on Tuesday put forth that editors at the New York Times should not be assigning feminists or known anti-Trump reporters to cover the presidential candidate. After hearing that memo where Bernie Goldberg was even mentioned, Mr. Goldberg had some thoughts, and here he is in New York City tonight. What say you?
Well, look, it's a safe bet that everybody at the New York Times is a feminist, and that includes the men as well as the women, right?
No, I don't think so. There's got to be
maybe there's one woman someplace or other, but it's a safe bet that feminism is one of the guiding principles there. But you raised an interesting question, and that is, can a feminist cover somebody who, among other things, puts on pageants where beautiful women stroll around the stage half naked in high heels? Fair question. The answer, I think, is if that reporter, if it's known in the newsroom, or worse, if it's known publicly, thinks that beauty pageants are a crime against humanity and people who are involved in them should be sentenced to death in the electric chair, of course not.
But isn't that the feminist doctrine? Do you know any feminists who like beauty contests?
You can have an opinion, even on something like that, and this is the bigger issue to me, and not be disqualified from covering a story.
All right, I disagree. If you're a Quaker, okay, you can't cover a war because you believe that anyone participating in a war is wrong. If you're a Quaker. So there are no Quaker war correspondents because they can't. They're so revolted by war in general. That's their doctrine.
I'd have to know if that particular woman thought that.
But you'd never know that.
Well,
that woman is a good reporter,
here's how I would
do it.
Right. Here's how I would do it personally.
Yeah.
First of all, if it was known that she thought it was a crime against humanity, she's out. That's easy. If I'm the editor, I say, look, I understand that on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, beauty pageants are seen as the stuff of Neanderthals. I understand that. But there's a whole country between Manhattan and Malibu where a lot of people don't think that way. I need to know from you, and think before you answer this, if you can be fair to Donald Trump.
And you would ask the reporter that. Well, what do you think they're going to say?
Well, I'll tell you this. If they say they can, and they hand me copy that isn't, there's going to be big problems.
All right.
But I think the bigger issue...
Let me again challenge, because we want to be always fair here. This Megan Twohey, and put her picture up there, is a good reporter. I mean, her resume, the other guy, believe me, the other guy is a lightweight. He's a tweeter. He tweeted out about Trump, not egregious thing, as I said, but a little snarky stuff. But the other one, Megan, is a good reporter, so we call her up. And she's on, remember, she's on MSNBC, she's on CNN, she's, all of this stuff. We call her up. We had one question. Are you a feminist? That's all. Hung up.
But you know the Fox effect.
No. You can't answer one question about a legitimate point that we're trying to make, that you can't be a feminist and cover Donald Trump?
Of course she can answer it, and of course she should have answered it. And she should have gone beyond the answer yes or no.
Should have come on the program. Talk to me about it.
No, she should. I'll tell you what I would have advised her to do, go on the program and say, if she is, yes, I'm a feminist, and here's why it doesn't matter.
Okay, and I'm willing to listen.
I think you would be willing.
I will. I'm willing to listen to that.
Can I tell you what I think the bigger issue is?
Sure.
Look, everybody who follows the news has an opinion. The people out there have opinions. We journalists have opinions. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're pro-choice, can you be fair to somebody who's pro-life? If you're pro-life, can you be fair to somebody who's pro-choice? If you won't vote for Donald Trump, can you be fair to somebody who would vote for Donald Trump? None of that's a problem. Here's the problem. Newsrooms are overwhelmingly populated by liberal journalists. Now, when I wrote Bias, they wouldn't acknowledge that. Today,
they have to. They took surveys.
Exactly.
Right.
So they find the story interesting. The editors get together, and you and I know how this works. They get together, and they say, let's investigate Donald Trump's treatment of women. That's a question that interests them.
Right.
Here's a question, and I'm fine. If you want to do that, fine with me. Here's a question that interests a lot of other people. Did Hillary Clinton have any role in sliming women who made accusations against her husband? Did she know about it? Was she part of the political bashing? And by the way, it's accepted that there was a political campaign to delegitimize these women. Did she know about it?
Of course,
was she part?
Her own statements.
No, but what I'm saying is the editors who are interested in Donald Trump, they should be interested in that. But if you don't have diversity in the newsroom, you're going to get that kind of bias.
All right. Bernie Goldberg, everybody.